It's so funny and it's so embarrassing. You got to feel for her as well because, like, you know, when you don't like farting in front of people anyway.
just look at it from his situation. She's basically robbed him, farted at him, and fucked off. Thanks for the weights. Hey up and now then, and welcome back to the Hangout with Adam and Matt. I'm Adam.
And I'm Matt.
Episode 2. We're probably going to be a little bit more polished this time after doing as I imagine the first episode was a bit more like a pilot.
Yes.
But it's out there. You're getting to know us a bit more now. So we're going to get into a subject matter today. But before we do that, let's have a bit of a catch up. How you doing?
I'm alright, pal.
All good.
How's thee?
All good.
How are you? Right, come on. What have you been doing recently? Tell me something funny.
I've been watching. I watched a film last night. About Big George Foreman.
All right.
That was good. About boxing.
So was it a film then, or like a documentary style?
Like a biopic. Like,
right, yeah.
So, but it was really good. Love me boxing and that. So yeah, about Big George Foreman. I've been catching up on. Do you watch soaps?
No. However, I've been watching Brassic.
Okay.
And I showed you a clip of it, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Of Farmer Jim. Amazing. It's really good. The only problem I've come up to now is on Netflix, you have seasons 1 to 4, and the 5th and 6th seasons are not on Netflix. So basically, I'm in a bit of a dilemma now. Do I just pay for Now TV just to watch Brassic? Or...
Doesn't it annoy you when you only got like parts of series?
Yes.
That are on, and it like the rest of them are like they're available and they exist, but they're not on like Sky, or they're not on, so you have to buy like the extra things. Like, this is a good time to plug our sponsor, NordVPN. No, not really.
Gotcha.
But no, that'd be a good idea actually, because you can like bounce your location. This is the plug for NordVPN.
Please sponsor us.
But yeah, that is proper annoying.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you've bought the first 4 seasons, the rights to put it on your platform. Buy the other 2, you fucking tight bastards.
I know, so
like,
stupid.
You're a fucking multi-billion, potential trillion company. Surely you can buy 2 fucking more seasons of Brassic. I've got to fucking try and find it.
Maybe they're Brassic.
Shouldn't be. But they are. But then Netflix are good for that, aren't they? So they'll put a series on, and then, like, you'll watch, say, season 1 and 2, and then they just cut it.
Yeah.
And you're like, are you taking the piss here?
Yeah.
Like, I'm invested in this now, and now you just cut it from me.
So have you known it as well, where they've got like a middle series missing? So it'll be like, maybe there's 5 series of it, but maybe 5 seasons, and it's got 1, 2, 4, and 5, and like 3's missing.
Really?
Yeah. And it's like, why? You've got the rest of them.
That is like
That's annoying.
Going on a night out, getting that pissed up that you black out and you forget bits of your evening. That's kind of like the same context.
That's never happened to me before.
That's happened to me.
That's never happened to me before.
Plenty.
Never happened to me.
Plenty.
Fucking hell.
Oh, God.
So, but you ever watch soaps? Because something fucking really interesting happened to me.
Right. Right.
So, it's quite harsh. You'll understand in a minute. But like, I was filling up at Shell, filling the car up with petrol or whatever, and I'm pretty much dressed I am now, you know, cap on backwards and my hair down and all that kind of stuff. And this woman, behind the till was like, "Oh my God, I was about to ask for your autograph then." And you've been with me a few times when I've been recognised
by your fans, yeah.
But like, because obviously the whole band thing, it's always weird. So I half thought it was that. And she said, "Oh, I thought you was Ryan from Emmerdale."
Who's Ryan from Emmerdale?
Some people watching might understand who that is and find that fucking funny. But why it's not... I didn't know who he was.
Right.
And I went back to
Come on. You can do it. Take a deep breath. Look me in the eyes. Come on, together. We'll do it together. Look at me. In the eyes, ready? Deep breath in.
I went back to my car. Okay.
And out.
I went back to my car and Googled who he was.
Right.
And there's a slight resemblance in the fact that we're both men and got long hair.
Right, is that it?
He's quite severely disabled.
I mean, whoa, right.
We're not laughing at the disability. I'm not at all. The poor guy is an actor and he's very good at what he does apparently, but he's got cerebral palsy. She compared me to someone that had a fucking physical and mental disability.
I mean,
I thought it was fucking harsh, to be honest.
I think she was spot on.
It's not that he physically speaks with a disability. He's got cerebral palsy, so that's just how it goes down, isn't it? That's part of his condition. Bless it. But I got compared. She compared me to. I was like, oh, I thought you was in my family. I'm like, fucking hell. Yo, the bitch. It crucified me.
I mean, it's nice to be recognised by a, compared to a celebrity, I suppose.
Yeah, but when I've been recognised before for being the guy in the band, and that's all good.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I mean, Leeds. Yeah, when your fans were out and they was hanging around with me, and I remember one or two of them saying to me, "Oh mate, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. You're best mates with Adam Meffin. You're best mates with him." I'm like, this prick's lucky to fucking be my friend. What are you on about?
He did say that as well. I heard you.
Fucking. Like, I don't mind stroking your ego.
My ego.
Stroking your ego, but you know, I'm not having people telling me I'm lucky. I'm not lucky.
No, I'm lucky, aren't I?
We're both lucky. let's be humble. We're both lucky. So that's great. It's great.
Yeah.
Bless him. Bless you.
Yeah, bless me. It's not even funny.
It's not.
It's not funny.
It's not. Right. Oh. Okay, so it's not really happened to me recently, but I'll tell you a bit of a funny story. And again, it's one of those you had to be there moments. So it was when I was working at Bassett Law Security, and we were just sat in office one night. Me and the supervisor were there, and we had this one lad. I don't know the contents of why he was there. I don't know, but anyway, he was with us for a shift, and he's a Sheffield Wednesday fan.
Well, enough said then.
Exactly, right? So obviously being a Sheffield United fan, we had the banter, blah, blah, blah. And I remember he used to lean back on his chair all the time. And we used to say to him, look, you're going to fucking fall off. Like, stop it. And I remember he was trying to give me shit about being a Sheffield United fan. Bear in mind, this person had Manchester United curtains in his bedroom. A grown-ass man had Manchester United curtains in his bedroom. And that can be fucking... I can get confirmation of this by this person. Anyway, so he's leaning back.
He's a Wednesday fan with Man U curtains.
And he had a Man United tattoo, the Red Devil. Okay? Say no more.
Is that enough for Wednesday being shit?
Well, he obviously...
sports Man U.
But his dad is a big Wednesday fan. So he's probably got it from his dad.
Some loyalty there.
But he's obviously been a Man United fan enough to get a tattoo and have Manchester United curtained in his bedroom.
That's
bringing a girl back to your bedroom as a grown-ass man.
The only way you can get away with that is saying, "Oh, this is my little brother's bedroom."
Yeah,
I'm just back here for a little bit.
Exactly. So, yeah, he's trying to give me shit, and I'm not biting. I think, go on, have your moment. I think we'd lost a game of football. It was on a Saturday, so I'm not in the best of moods anyway.
Well, we're Sheffield United fans, so we've probably been beat at some point.
Yeah, and. The chair caved in. He fell backwards. And the room wasn't that big. And he hit his head and everything on the wall. And I lost it. I was laughing that much. I almost passed out because I was laughing that much. We decided to go for a walk because we had to patrol around and stuff.
Yeah.
I laughed the whole way around the site. Couldn't stop. It wasn't even that funny, realistically. It's funny when someone falls off a chair.
It is funny when someone
But in
falls
the
off a chair.
moment, when all he's been doing for like the past 5-10 minutes is trying to give me shit. Bear in mind all the things I've just said about him. And then he falls off his chair, completely fucking creams himself. And I'm sure he was eating something as well because he was a fat bastard.
Pasta everywhere.
No, chocolate, crisps or something. But he just fell and that's it. I almost died laughing, which that happens. I don't know if it happens to you. It happens to me a lot. You know, like you're laughing so much and you feel like you start going a bit faint.
Yeah.
That almost happened to me a minute ago. Laughing. About you. Laughing at you.
That nearly happened to me and the wife the other day. I can't remember what the show was. Oh, it was an advert for a show, I think. What?
Sorry, just delayed laugh. It's fine.
I know. Oh, was it a show? You know, one of those. It was like 24 hours in Waitrose or some one of those kind of shows.
24 hours in Aldi.
One of them kind of shows.
Right.
It was about Waitrose.
Okay.
And obviously it's like the snobby supermarket in it. So at some point, it would have been Prince Charles, but obviously now King Charles was on it, and he's like opening up this fucking Waitrose or whatever. Shows you the level of clientele. And Sophie never used to be like she is with her humour. She never swore before she met me.
No, she was quite, what's the word? Like placid.
Yeah, polite.
Respectful. Polite.
All the things I'm not, like, and it's just one of them you had to be there moments. But like, King Charles comes on the TV, and she just went nonce.
Really?
And I turned to her. Don't know where it come from. I just went, "That is the king," and we. I don't care about King Charles. We were fucking dying laughing for like 10 minutes, like non-stop. Fuck me.
Oh.
That is the king. Have some respect. Fucking nonce.
Which is mad coming from Sophie, because if you know her,
She's just not like that.
No.
It's me that's done that.
she's
to
not
her.
like one of the kindest souls. I'm going to say calmest, but yeah, it's calm,
Both, yeah.
kind souls I've ever met. Like,
Yeah.
she's absolutely lovely.
Yeah, that's my influence. That's all me, that. I've ruined her.
Better.
So funny.
Oh dear.
God.
Right, shall we move on to
should
the
we get into the
actual-
episode? Fucking hell. Right then, what are we talking about today?
So, I think we're talking about some conspiracy stories, theories.
Okay.
We'll start with some of the obvious ones, some of the big ones, very controversial.
Yeah.
So, which one would you say is probably one of the biggest controversial moments in history, where obviously you're talking to people with different opinions and the conspiracies come ahead. Now, what's the one that stands out the most?
I think there's two massive ones.
Yeah.
The one that goes back donkey's years is probably like the moon landings.
Yes.
And then I say recent history, it's nearly 25 years ago, but like 9/11.
9/11.
Like, so like, I think 9/11 is weird because it's got just so much ambiguity surrounding it, where there's so many reasons for people to make conspiracies about it.
Yeah.
Whether it's like the guy that owned the buildings a couple of months before, making sure he had terrorism thing on the policy for the insurance, or the fact they wanted to maybe an excuse to go to the Middle East to start wars and take oil and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
was it? Am I correct in thinking that they had demolition crews in?
well, I don't know, but there's certain aspects of like the towers falling and stuff that definitely look like demolitions.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, I'm no civil engineer expert. I don't know what happens basically when a building comes down on itself. But by watching videos of like flat blocks being
a controlled
broken down,
demolition of a tower
obviously
block.
in workshop we had the what we'll call it, we'll call it the tower. Like a chimney thing. We had that blown down, and obviously it came down a certain way.
Yeah.
Now, and when you look at the footage of it, it's how the building just comes perfectly down.
Yeah.
It doesn't topple.
Yeah.
It just comes down.
Yeah.
And when it first starts to move. You see on these videos the cloud of smoke from the bottom of the building, as if a demolition has just happened, as if someone's blown the building from the bottom.
Yeah.
And it's coming down. The support beams have been blown away, and it's just tumbles.
Yeah. It's hard to understand, isn't it? Because, and I think this has shown how maybe I've probably grown up to critique my own opinions sometimes. Because I think before I was like, it's 100% an inside job. Do you know what I mean? I was like, it was one of them. I was like, definitely. And then now I'm just like, well, you know, people have done tests for jet fuel burning steel beams and stuff like that, and it's like, well, it makes a compelling argument, and I would rather listen to scientists than you know, someone with a YouTube channel. Do you know what I mean?
And I get that, but I suppose like my element of that is that it was quite high up in the building for the jet fuel to burn the steel away.
Yeah.
Like, it was very high up in the building. It's not like it hit the bottom of the building and it's melted and it's crumbled. It's gone high.
Yeah.
So how is... I mean, I don't get it all. I think
the main one for me as well is, like, aeroplanes are just built out of fuck all, aren't they?
Yeah.
There's nothing to an aeroplane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how does it penetrate a fucking steel and concrete building?
Yeah. And I mean...
That's but what speed's it travelling at? Again, I'm not a fucking aerodynamicist. I don't know, but...
There's videos out there, and I remember seeing a video where they tested planes. And I think they have to test them before they, you know, build them and manufacture them completely. Excuse me.
They definitely test them.
But they test them, and they basically fly them at a certain speed into solid brick wall and stuff like that. And the way that I believe aeroplanes are designed, they're designed to crumble. They're not designed to like penetrate the building and go through. They're designed to where basically when it hits the brick wall, the aeroplane just disintegrates.
Yeah. As it would. I mean, it's basically made out of like what, aluminium.
Yeah.
They're not a big.
They're not designed.
Object, are they?
They're not designed to
robust
withstand anything.
Yeah.
They're designed to, if it goes down, it's down. It's gone. That's why, you know, you look at all these plane crashes of recent times as well, whether it's commercial flights or private flights.
Yeah.
There's not much left of a plane wreckage when it hits the floor, the sea, or anything like that. There's not much left of it. So the fact that it's brought down a massive tower is just, it does lead to questions.
Yeah.
And I've had many arguments with one. I remember I've been on guard duty in Germany, and I remember we was talking about it, and some of the lads come in to relieve us, and they was from a different unit, and because he overheard, I reckon he was on drugs. I'm telling you now, he was on drugs, because the way he came at me, like he was like ready to throw down, and I'm like, mate, calm the fuck down. It's an opinion.
Well, some of these conspiracy theorists are fucking
crazy.
Like, they're just like, yeah, it's like, it's almost like a belief system for a minute.
Yeah, it's like it's happened to him personally, and it affects them personally.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was a massive tragedy. You know, a lot of people fucking died from this.
Awful.
But it didn't personally attack you, bro. Calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
Like, their families have lost the husbands, wives, daughters, sons, etc.
And that's the thing. I think people, especially like people that are so deep into conspiracies, kind of forget that it's like, no, actually watch it. There is people jumping from the building to the deaths because they'd rather do that than die in a fire. Yeah. On, you know, on all these, and it's like, this really did happen. So like, have a bit more fucking sympathy when you're going about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, you can speculate your reasons for it happening, but the fact is something did happen and a lot of people died. So
yeah,
have a fucking bit of decorum. Do you know what I mean? But,
yeah, and I think that's why it's probably for me, it's probably the biggest one, the biggest conspiracy, because the devastation that was caused from it. You know, we talk about the moon landing. It's not really affecting anybody. It's just something that they say happened or it didn't happen. But this was a fucking tragedy, and loads of people died from it.
Yeah.
And we entered a fucking war because of this.
Yeah. The so-called War on Terror.
The War on Terror.
Which is essentially why you ended up in Afghanistan.
Essentially, yeah.
Like, you know, on the back of all that.
I mean, I remember, I believe I was in primary school, if I'm not mistaken, when it happened. And I remember, like...
Will have been. year 3, I think, for us around that time, year 3, year 4.
If I remember rightly, I think I was in Rantskill Primary School, and I remember like going to school, and then we used to have like sometimes, like if you had like a inset day or not inset day, but like a day where they didn't make you do lessons, it was more like a fun day. They used to put a film on and stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember like a TV being set up in the hall, and like all teachers and stuff sort of gathered around it, and kids and stuff, and it was just like breaking news. And I remember like they were saying like, we need to contact all parents because we're shutting the school down. And it was such like a
I remember that
major thing. Like
I
even
think,
for us in the UK, it was huge.
Yeah, it was. It was global, innit? Global news. Like, but I remember the teacher come like sat us all down. And like I said, this is 2001, so I'd have just been 8, 7,
Yeah,
8.
Yeah,
just 8.
Yeah.
I remember like teachers coming in. The teacher come in and he's just like, oh, like something like terrible's happened or whatever. And then I remember for months after, and then realistically, it was probably years after, but like months after, it was the only thing on TV.
Yeah.
Like the only thing the news were broadcasting. It's really weird that we grew up with that. We're like 8 years old. Excuse me, when that happens. And it's something as massive as that. And it's like the entire world changed at that point.
Yeah.
And it's still changed to this day because of it.
Yeah.
So it's so like monumental, and probably didn't really understand at the time how big a deal it was. And then it's like, fucking hell, it's the biggest thing like ever.
Yeah. And it just basically fed into racists.
Yeah.
It just fed them everything they needed.
Do you think it tainted our, like, the way we saw the world?
Oh, 100%.
Because you remember being like innocent and 8 years old, and
yeah, well,
and then all of a sudden like this is going on, and fucking made probably especially worse because my dad was well deep into the whole conspiracy of it, well deep into it. So I grew up with it being like the most fucking depressing thing ever. Like, it's so fucking depressing.
Like you come home from school, not like, hey, up son, what you been doing at school today? You're like, oh, there's some new information about the fucking Twin Towers.
Yeah, that was my childhood.
It's like, even when I'd go around, you go around and you'd be like, hey, up. And you'd be like, hey, up. Guess what?
Yeah.
And you're thinking, oh, here we go. Even as a kid, you're like, oh, for God's sake. Nothing about football, nothing about food or whatever. No.
Yeah.
Then there's the latest information about this conspiracy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't need to be 9, 10 years old hearing about weapons of mass destruction.
No.
To be honest. But that's the upbringing I had, so there we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's not dwell too long on 9/11. It's been covered to death on it, and so is the moon landings. But where do you stand on it? Because I'm again one of them that was always definitely fake. But now I think I'm a bit like, maybe the footage is fake, because some of it looks fake as fuck.
Yeah, I don't think it happened.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Right, have had failed attempt after failed attempt of going to the moon again.
It just seems so unrealistic that we did it in the 60s.
Like, bro,
do you know what I mean?
They flew a rocket that had about as much fucking technology in as a fucking microwave, and they flew to the moon and back.
Yeah, like your iPhone is more powerful than every single NASA computer put together.
Exactly.
At the time.
But yet they still struggle to get to the fucking moon. You've been there once. How can you fucking struggle? Like, I don't get it.
And then the telemetry data and all the stuff from the mission was just lost.
Yeah.
Not destroyed in a fire or just lost.
Yeah.
It's like, where the fuck's the data?
Exactly. How do you lose all this data?
It was on, back in the day, it was on like tape or whatever it was. Like, it was physical, like physical memory.
Yeah.
And we lost it.
Exactly.
How did you lose it?
You don't. You don't. And that's why it's fake.
Yeah.
It's got to be fake.
Maybe it is. But did we go... Again, there's political reasons for why we did that. Or US did that, because they was in a race with Russia.
Yeah. Always in a fucking race with Russia.
Always. So there's that argument to it. But it's just the footage looks so fucking fake.
Yeah.
It looks so fake.
It does. Look at the technology that's used in filmmaking nowadays and CGI effects and stuff. Come on.
Yeah.
It's fake.
It just looks fake.
It's fake.
It might be fake.
Why are they so concerned about going to the moon? What's wrong with Earth?
Yeah. It is funny though, because some people that have said it's definitely not fake and they swear by it. their argument's really funny. Cause it's like, well, I saw it on TV. I watched it. It's like, yeah.
I saw it with my 2 eyes.
I watched Avatar. Blue people don't exist.
I watched Alien.
Yeah.
And now, if that's real...
I watched Titanic. It still sank. Even in 3D.
And we saw Kate Winslet's boobies. Might have been the first boobs I saw as a kid. Like, I think so, maybe. It was always great, though, because I remember, like, in school, and they put a film on, and you used to do, like, projects on films, didn't you? So you'd watch a film, like, of mice and men and stuff like that, and then you'd talk about, like, the narrative of it, and they'd always try and, like, make you think about it in different ways, and you'd write about it and put your opinion on it and stuff. And I always remember, like, when they put the Titanic on, it was like every lad in the room was waiting for that scene, and we were like, "Oh, come on,
Here we go.
It's good. It's good."
Go on.
Make sure I just took myself into the table a little bit more as it's coming on. But yeah, that was great. And I remember always it was like you'd look at the teacher as if to say, like, "Are you watching? Are you watching? You're basically showing us porn." Nonce.
There's funnily enough, mentioning Titanic, actually, I got obsessed with it when I was a kid. I was such a nerdy kid. So like I used to spend my summers in Merseyside with my grandparents. They lived over in Merseyside. I lived there for a year, but before that, I used to go over like every summer. I'd spend like all the 6-week holidays over there. Because as a fucking 7, maybe even as young as 6, 7, 8, 9, that sort of age, like I was obsessed with history, still into history, bang into it. But like, so like the museums in Liverpool are amazing. So like that's what I do my summers. I go and look around fucking museums and stuff. Like what fucking 7-year-old wants to go and look around museums? Well, I did.
I mean, I'm not against it.
Yeah,
it's interesting. It's like fascinating to go to like historical museums.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
That's the sort of thing that like me and Sophie will get up to on the weekend. Let's go and look at fucking let's go to a museum or whatever.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all. But like I say, I've been doing that since I was a kid. And then the Maritime Museum in Liverpool had this whole exhibition about Titanic, and I just got like bang into it. And that's mad because they used to have like this guy that was doing test pressings, and he'd send me away with all this stuff. So I got back to my nan's, and I was reading all these like remade newspapers of like the Titanic disaster, and I got like so deep into it. And then in the years, probably in the last 10 years, there's been like more and more conspiracies come out about Titanic.
Yes.
How about it? It wasn't really the Titanic; it was the sister ship.
Yeah.
And all that.
Didn't they have it repainted with the new name and stuff like that?
Yeah, they said that. That is total bollocks, and that's been proved. But apparently there was a fire on board.
Yes.
That has been said. Like there was a fire on board in the area that it hit the iceberg.
Yes, because
which could have weakened the structural sort of integrity.
Yeah, because I'm going to say, because aren't they built to withstand iceberg hits? Like obviously within reason. Because I mean, obviously the film makes it look like it's this giant, massive block of ice,
which it was.
But was it though?
Well, apparently, but
because
the whole
who saw it?
Well, not the fucking person steering the ship. But
if he's there with fucking holding the wheel. For context, I'm falling asleep at the wheel.
Not getting a blowjob under the table.
Why would my hands be up here if I'm getting a blowjob under the table? Get out, go on, shoot.
Fuck, I forgot what I was going to say now.
Right, so we're talking about Titanic. I remember your mum telling me something interesting. Didn't one of your family members, wasn't they supposed to go on the ship itself, and they didn't go for some reason?
I think that's how the story goes, yeah.
Was it? I don't know if it was because they just missed it, or if they just didn't go.
I don't know if there was some kind of family emergency or something, but
yeah.
Apparently she was pretty close to getting, I don't know the full story, but apparently she was like pretty close to getting on it and didn't.
And just imagine though, like if she got on that, you might not be here right now because unfortunately she could have died at sea. Literally, because I believe it was. I mean, our Jude, she told me, so she'll know it for sure. Was it like a grandparent or an aunt?
Great granny, no, something like that. I don't know exactly.
So, it was a family member. So, yeah. I mean, it could have had massive implications for your family, regardless.
Yeah, yeah. But interesting how that one thing that happens 100 years ago just fucking completely changes history, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like stepping on a bug. Like, go back in time and step on a butterfly and dinosaurs are still alive. Like,
exactly. And how many times has it happened to even like yourself where something's happened and you're supposed to catch a bus or a train at whatever time, and you miss it, or you think, oh, I'll get the next one, I'll get the earlier one or something, and then something's happened.
Yeah.
Even if it don't have to be so dramatic, it'd just be like, the train service has just stopped altogether, and you're like, my God, thank God I got on the one before. Otherwise, I could have been stuck in Birmingham.
Well, yeah, just think about the people that...
In a shithole.
Well, just think about the people that didn't get on a certain aeroplane that day on 9/11, or didn't get on a certain tube when the bomb and all that kind of stuff because the kid was off sick that day or something like that. Are you all right?
Yeah. It's a shithole though, isn't it? I'm sorry, but
There's shitholes in every part. I quite like Birmingham. The middle of it.
I like Birmingham.
I went to the F1 arcade in Birmingham. That was good.
I like it when I leave. They just sound retarded. I'm sorry. They do, don't they? Like, you're right there, mate.
Do you think it's mad how many accents there are in like just such a small country?
Yeah.
Like in America, you've got like a few different accents, but you can basically tell where they're from.
Yeah, but then why? Why is it different accents?
Why have we got so many? I think it's probably because we were in probably really small... Fucking hell, I need to stop drinking so much Coke. Because we were probably in like such really small communities. Do you think? Like, people from Yorkshire didn't often go to London or in the Midlands. It's like you just kind of had your place and that's where you were.
Yeah, because I don't think there wasn't exactly like public travel back in the day, was it? It's not like you could just jump on a train and travel down to London for a day.
No,
so
it'd take you like 2 weeks to get from like here to London.
Yeah, by horse.
Yeah.
And carriage and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why you sort of stuck to your area.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's how it developed. I don't know the science behind that, but that's...
But does that change your voice though?
No, but that's what I mean. Like people, the dialect just sounds different in each area.
Obviously, you go from like the King's English as it is now, and it's quite
Plum.
prim, proper, posh.
Yes.
And then you got us lot. Nah, then I don't
Hey,
get it.
All right, pal.
All right.
Yeah. It is funny how like
Din.
it's not where.
Ey'up.
Ey'up now then.
Nah, then.
It's I also think it's funny how people perceive you because of an accent as well.
Mm. Yeah.
You ever noticed when someone's trying to do an accent of someone that's stupid, they always tend to do like a fucking Yorkshire accent, which really pisses me off actually.
Yeah.
Or like a Lancashire type accent.
Yeah,
But it's always northern.
Northern. It's always fucking northern.
Yeah. As if like, oh, fucking stupid northerners. You know what I mean?
Look at who's fucking... Look at... No, but come on. Right,
There's plenty of fucking stupid people in the south, believe me.
There is.
I work there a lot.
If we're going to talk like who's got the dumbest sounding accent, it's Cornish. All right there, my lover.
I don't know if it's dumb, but it's definitely entertaining.
Who are?
Green
or me.
Fucking hell. There's just so many, like, and so many that are wildly different. Like, Scouse accent.
Yeah.
Well, it's just in its own league.
Yeah.
That is like so different to like the Queen's English.
Yeah, because obviously, like, Manchester and Liverpool are basically next door to each other, aren't they?
But that's different.
Geographically.
That's a different accent, isn't
But
it?
their accents are totally different.
Yeah.
Like, you'd think there'd be... I mean, is there some similarities in some aspects? I'm trying to think of it now. I suppose there is, in a way.
Probably because of the way that it's just northern.
Yeah.
It's similar in that way.
But then Scouse don't sound northern. Like
it's just in its own
like
league.
Their own, yeah, exactly, their own league.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't even sound fucking Scottish.
No, because they're from Liverpool.
Well, no, you know what I mean, though? They're closer to Scotland. Right.
There's fucking
I'm
nowhere
gonna
near
stop
Scotland.
Maybe because Northerners are dumb. Because fucking Liverpool's not in England, is it? It's not in Scotland. It's closer to Scotland than it is England. Wait, no, it's not. Liverpool is in England.
Fucking tall. It's really close to Wales, and it's not that far from Ireland.
No,
Just a lot of Irish in Liverpool, so maybe there's something there.
Yeah, well, didn't they used to use Liverpool port?
Well, I think it was one of the biggest in Europe, if not the world, at one point. Liverpool.
Yeah,
it got absolutely fucking ruined in World War II with the Blitz.
Yeah.
Obliterated.
Fucking did, yeah.
Because it was such a main import sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the accent's weird.
Yeah.
I like the accent.
I like the
and
Scouse
like I
accent.
say, I lived there for a year when I was a kid, and I was already going Scouse. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you mate, you're right. And fuck it, yeah.
I'm not going to attempt that.
Fucking hell, mate.
You're right, our kid.
So Manchester's like, our kid. You're all right, our kid. And then Liverpool's, you're right, our kid. So it's similar.
They've just got a lot of phlegm.
Yeah, fucking hell. Fucking hell.
Right, so the one thing I wanted to talk about,
yes.
and I mean, I suppose it could be classed as a conspiracy, the Mandela effect.
I got so into this as
Oh
well.
my God, like it's crazy. I'd sat there for like hours watching different videos on different Mandela effects. And, you know, it's like one of them always stands out to me is Febreze, the spray.
Yeah.
Now, I'm positive it should have two.
It should be like Breeze.
But it's not.
Like Breeze, like fabric Breeze.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
But it's not.
No.
Okay, and the other one, the Monopoly Man. Monocle or no monocle?
He 100% had a monocle.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
But apparently doesn't.
But where is it?
Doesn't apparently. Never
Exactly.
had one. And then people said, oh, you probably got it confused with this thing from peanut butter in America. You probably got it confused. It looks a bit. It's like, well, I'm from fucking Northern England, mate.
Yeah. Listen, I
don't even like peanut butter.
many a times and played fucking Monopoly.
And saw that cunt's monocle.
Exactly.
Yeah. Top hat, monocle, and a cane. He was
Exactly.
like, 100%. Does he even have a cane now? I'm fucking doubting that.
Ooh.
He did have a cane.
Yeah, he did. But
Fucking
does he now?
Don't know. Well, he definitely had a fucking monocle.
He definitely has
100% had a monocle. Because it's probably the first time I ever saw a monocle.
Yeah.
Because who the fuck wears a monocle?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
I'd love to be that level of rich where I had a cane and a top hat and a monocle.
Right, hang on.
I'd just do it.
Hang on a minute. We've just said nonce, and you said, I want to be at that level.
Yeah, I don't aim to be a nonce. I'm not King Charles, Sophie.
But he's the king.
That is our king. Fucking hell.
And it's crazy. Like, there's so many. Like, we could sit here for ages and talking about him, but...
Have you seen, one that always strikes me as ridiculous is Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes.
Because it says tunes, as in music.
Yeah. It was Looney Tunes.
But it's tunes because it's a cartoon.
Yes.
So it would only be tunes.
Yes.
Looney cartoons. Looney Tunes. But it says tunes.
No.
To make any fucking sense.
No, it doesn't. And that's the whole context of it being tunes, like cartoons, because
tunes.
It's a fucking cartoon.
Yeah.
Like.
So why would it not say that? Like,
I mean, if you're going to say cartoons, you'd think it'd be some weird fucking music thing.
Yeah.
Like a play on words for music.
Yeah.
But it's not.
They're not particularly musical.
It's got Bugs Bunny in it.
Yeah.
He's a rabbit.
He's a nonce.
He's a wabbit. He's a wabbit. He's a nonce.
He's a noncy rabbit.
He has a monocle at one point. Sensing a theme. Maybe I'm onto something. Maybe I'm onto you fucking nonces.
Another one is the Forrest Gump one. Is a big one.
Yeah. Yes.
So my mama always said,
"Life's like a box of chocolates.
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get." And apparently it says life was like a box of chocolates.
No.
Life was like. That doesn't make any sense.
No. Life is.
Why would life used to be like chocolates? It's not anymore like chocolate.
Because life is not a chocolate. Sometimes we have
but it
meltdowns.
was. That's what they're saying. Said, oh, life was like a box of chocolates.
You never know what you're going to get. But you do. Because it says Belgium chocolate. So I know I'm having a chocolate from Belgium.
I've seen the fucking milk tray.
I've read it. All right. It tells me there's a fucking fruity one in there. There's a nut truffle. So I know what I'm having.
Fucking.
So that's bollocks.
Yeah, so there's that one. Is there any more like big ones? The Star Wars one.
Yes.
Darth Vader apparently never says, "Luke, I am your father."
Oh, yes, he does.
So I mean, everyone is convinced
Yes,
that's
he
exactly what he says,
does.
and apparently he doesn't say that.
Fucking
Now, I'm not a Star
100%.
Wars fan, so I can't say I've never
Oh, well,
watched
yeah,
that scene
mate.
like ever because I've never watched Star Wars. Apart from the first one, I watched it, tried about 4 times. I've never got into Star
So
Wars.
what is it they say that he says?
Apparently, he just never says Luke.
Oh, so, yeah, so he still tells him he's his father.
Yeah.
He says Luke because he pauses for dramatic effect.
Luke. No, Luke. I am your father.
Yeah. Luke. Oh, wait, it's not coming through. Sound like fucking...
If you've just joined us.
Welcome to the podcast. No, but he definitely says, Luke, I am your father.
Apparently not.
Bullshit.
Apparently not.
Bullshit.
So I mean,
Mandela
it's a
effect.
crazy one. And so what's that? Then there's been the theory about that was that fucking hell, it goes so deep. These conspiracy theories are amazing. That the Large Hadron Collider at CERN was running. It was big news at school. Do you remember?
Yes.
And there was running tests, and it was like, we're basically firing atoms at each other at 99.999% the speed of light. And people have said that is
the pivotal moment.
It's caused a change in reality.
Yeah. Which is, it is crazy because they basically said they want to replicate the Big Bang.
Sounds like a bad idea to me.
So obviously for non-religious people that believe that we was created by the effects of the Big Bang.
No, super religious people don't believe that.
No, that's what I mean. For people that aren't religious and that are like...
They believe in Sky Daddy.
They believe in the Sky Daddy.
Yeah.
But people that don't believe in the Sky Daddy, they believe that we was basically created by the two atoms basically colliding together and causing the Big Bang. So they wanted to recreate it, which in itself, if it was obviously 100% true and that's how it's happening, what effect are you going to cause? And now, again, is the effect that they've done that...
Shifted dimensions.
Like we've jumped onto the parallel timeline that runs coexistently with us. So in the other timeline, we're doing a podcast, but it's not about this. Or maybe it is. Maybe they're talking about it and going, oh, I wonder what that timeline's thinking.
The conversation's so massive, isn't it? You can't get your fucking head around.
It's mad, isn't it?
Like multi-dimensional. Fuck it. It's so crazy.
And that's, I mean, sort of Marvel's taking a bit of a dabble into that, aren't they? With the multiverse.
Yeah.
And it just makes you think, doesn't it? Like, is it real?
It sounds impossible, but then when you look at the universe and the fucking cosmos and all that kind of stuff, it's so fucking mind blowing. It's just like, well, anything's probably possible.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen the video where it shows you comparison of the size of planets and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So it's got the moon next to Earth, and that looks quite small. Then Earth next to not Mercury, fucking Venus or Uranus or something like that. And then it goes out to the sun, and Earth's like this. Yeah. And then it goes out to these other suns, and our sun is like this.
Yeah. And then it goes to a Milky Way, and then a galaxy. And
it's just we are so small.
Yeah. And yet we're the only life out here.
Don't think we are. I'm not saying there's aliens invading and stuff like that and visiting Area 51 and stuff like that, but I think there has to be other life in the universe.
Yeah.
Just has to be.
I think
it doesn't mean it's going to be like us. It doesn't mean it's going to be intelligent, but there's got to be life somewhere else.
No. Yeah.
There has to be.
And I think that's why sometimes, NASA's always trying to populate another planet, aren't they? Trying to see if Mars could be potentially inhabitable and stuff like that. And, they're trying to find it. And it just makes you wonder, why are you so desperate to leave this Earth?
Because we fucked it, haven't we? Keep fucking it up.
But I think that aliens are real and they are on Earth. And you know how terrified I am of the ocean.
Oh, they live in the ocean.
And I think they live in the ocean.
The sea,
live in the South Pole.
The sea is fucking terrifying.
You would look, some of the deep water fish that they've pulled to the surface, they are not fucking normal fish. They look alien-like.
Octopuses. Fucking aliens.
Yeah, I mean, what's the one? You look at fucking jellyfishes.
Yeah.
They've got no brain. They've got no functioning body part. They're just jelly.
Got no brain. Are they northern as well?
I did stand on one. It's Skeggy once, so maybe.
Fucking hell.
Hurt. A lot.
You're meant to piss on it, aren't you?
I didn't know. I was a kid.
Oh.
Just put water on it. And cried for a bit.
Imagine you just stood on a jellyfish and your dad comes over and starts pissing on you.
People are going, nonce. Yeah, it's crazy. And again, like I say, do they know something that we don't? Are they so desperate to leave this planet? Because, like, I don't really believe in a lot of things. But obviously I like a lot of like Nordic history and stuff like that. And I'm like, like the gods of thunder, and there's different gods for different things and stuff. And they talk about the Leviathan. Have you ever heard of the Leviathan? It's basically the serpent of the world. And there's been like images and stuff captured of like a mountainside. But when you take a closer look at it, now I don't know if it's just like a play of the eyes. They tell you what you're seeing and you see it, but it kind of looks like it's like a snake scales and stuff like that, and it's just like humongous. Yeah. And they're saying that it basically it's some like the earthquakes that happen randomly. And they say like it's saying it's supposed to be like the plates of the earth that are moving and like it slides over the top of each other, which causes the ripple, which causes the earthquake. But some people believe like it could be the Leviathan that's shifting slightly, which, I mean, obviously it's huge. It wraps itself around the earth, so it effectively would cause tidal waves, tsunamis, earthquakes.
Interesting where these like mythologies come from, isn't it? Like, the Greeks had like a god for like everything. Yeah. Like the Nordics, sort of the similar sort of thing. Yeah. But I think as science has got better, like especially the Greeks, just kind of like, okay, we don't need a god for thunder, we don't need a god for the sun and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Which probably doesn't play very well into the hands of people that believe the Earth's flat.
And that's another conspiracy.
It's one of my favourites because they're so stupid. Yeah. It's so easily proved. Yeah. I mean, the problem with flat earthers is that they've gone beyond to like prove that it's flat. So they just deny every single part of science that doesn't agree with them, but they will accept the bits that does prove the theory right. Yeah. But like they completely deny satellite images or photos taken from space. They deny all that. But there was a show on Netflix. Is it Under the Dome or something like that? Because they basically believe that the Earth's flat. There's a dome over us. Yeah. The lights in the sky are all hung there by fucking string or whatever. And they did this test. Fucking string. Fuck knows. They think somehow, but
some guys on a ladder tapping them into fucking.
We're gonna Polaris has gone out.
Oh, fucking hell.
But they did this show on Netflix, and by their own science said, right, we're going to do this lake. It's one of the flattest parts of like things in America we can get to. So we're going to have this laser pointer, and if the Earth is flat, we'll see the laser come in at this angle. It'll hit this thing exactly. Yeah. If the Earth's curved, by the calculations that were given by the size of the Earth and everything else, it'll be about 6 feet above where we say it should be. And if it's 6 feet above, basically we're wrong and the Earth is round. And they was wrong, obviously. The laser is like 6 feet. To their exact measurements, they said it's about 6 feet above where they said it should be. And then the guy that did it came out and said, oh yeah, we got the test wrong. It's just like you can't prove anything to them because they just won't accept facts. No. Their own facts. They've done the calculations. It was exactly where they said it was going to be. And then they just denied their own test. Some people can't be helped and they just believe it. I think, especially like the guy that was like the main guy in that show. I don't say he's stupid, but he's fucking stupid.
Northern?
He's from, I don't know, but he lived with his mum and he was like 50 years old and just a bit of a loner, do you know what I mean? Like one of those guys that never had a relationship, just sort of, lived in his basement basically.
You're going to make me say it. Nonce.
Just one of them guys though, but it's just like it's almost like he found his people.
Yeah, he found
this community of people where he fitted in.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't want to let that belief system go, because then all of a sudden his entire thing goes, and he's just a guy with a theory then on his own or whatever. But like, so I think a lot of conspiracies is just that it's just an alternate way of thinking, and they get so deep into it that they just cannot be the mind cannot be changed with as much fact as you can give them.
And that's it. And then they could become ignorant to anything else that's said. You know, I believe what I want to believe. You will not change my mind. In essence, very stubborn.
Yep.
Very stubborn.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, more and more people are like that, but it seems like conspiracy theories are just king.
Yeah, and they get quite emotionally attached to it.
Yeah.
And again, chill out.
Yeah, relax.
Put Netflix on.
Yeah.
Have a wank.
No, don't put Netflix on because it's got Under the Dome on it. Don't watch that. Like, yeah, interesting that they just go fucking beyond denying everything that exists.
Yeah.
Like, to prove otherwise. And the one question they can never never answer is, why would they lie about it being round?
Yeah.
Is fucking hell. What was one of the excuses I heard was like, oh, it's about stopping you. It's about control. I was like, of what?
Yeah, control what?
So if it's flat, like you can do this and the other, but if you can't go anywhere. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean?
Exactly. I'm sure they've got better things to do in the day than trying to convince you that the Earth is round.
Just speak to a pilot, how they circumnavigate the Earth. You know, they're flying, if they're going from fucking, I don't know, Los Angeles to Japan, they're going to fly that way. But if they're going from New York to London, they're going that way.
Yeah.
You know, all these fucking ridiculous theories.
Exactly. And if they went one way, well, surely they're going to hit the dome.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is why they say space doesn't exist. It goes as far as space doesn't exist. And like, the moon is a satellite put up there by lizard people. Just want to control us.
By the aliens.
Yeah, by the lizard nonsense.
I'll tell you one thing I have heard is like, what's the word that they call this? Like, our life is a simulation.
Interesting though, yeah.
Because growing up, like, I've always played video games growing up. And I remember playing on the PC a game called Sims.
Yeah.
And you basically create a life and live a life of a sim.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, it has its own emotions.
Yeah.
You might pre-program what their emotions are and what their hobbies are and stuff like that. So they go around the day-to-day business, you know, as they would when they get hungry. They know to go and get something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
They need the toilet. They either piss themselves or they go to the toilet. But it's like, are we living in a simulation?
Well, if we are, whoever's playing the game is not as sadistic as we are, because I've never been in a pool and the ladders have just disappeared.
Yes, and whoever's playing me, you could get the thing up where you can put the code in. It's motherload.
I was just gonna say, whoever's playing this game, send the fucking money cheat in right now.
But wait, hang on a minute. I just got a notification. Cheers, bro. I'm going to Dublin. How fucking funny would that be? You're just swimming along, having a good time. You know, fucking get some exercise in. Oh, I'm gonna get out now. Poop, gone. just floating in air, and it's like. All of a sudden, you go to bed, spin round, close her off. Bruce Almighty, your heart out.
It can't be true because I'm not pixelated when I take the trousers off.
No, but you can put mods on.
Oh, someone's modded the fuck out of this game.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, your dad modded the fuck out of this game and ruined my game. Ruined it.
Oh, it's not just Sims he ruined. Fuck me.
Fucking hell.
There's sickos out there that do all the fucking the mods for like Skyrim.
Yeah. Oh, your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember like going around to see our Jude, and when he was still with her, obviously, and he was his computer upstairs, and he heard me come in and that, and he's like, "Oh, Matt, when you got a second, come upstairs. I want to show you this cool new mod that I've got for Skyrim." I was like, "Yeah, I'll be up in a minute, yeah." So anyway, I goes up there, and he's like, "Sit down, come look at this. It's this building there, this is all mod. It's all mod." I thought, "Oh, that's cool. Like, he's modded a full functioning building in there, and there's characters in there."
I don't think he modded them. He sort of like downloaded the mods and stuff
so
like
he
that,
downloaded it and he put it onto thing. And I was like, "Oh, so what is it then?" He's like, "It's a sex dungeon."
Is there any fucking wonder I'm disturbed as an adult?
Skyrim is a fantasy game of like killing dragons and shit.
You walk in and there's just some orc banging a fucking
Dwarf.
Yeah.
Fucking Shrek's having a whale of a time.
There's this great big massive bear cock on him.
It's just like, what goes through these people's minds?
Why are you enjoying that?
It's a game. Leave it alone.
Do your mission and fuck off. Like,
You can go on Pornhub and watch it. It's fine.
fucking hell.
Leave the game alone. It was fine until you fucking ruined it.
Fucking.
But then
my God.
more fool people for downloading it and thinking it's cool. It's not cool.
It's not cool. It's weird.
Nonce.
Literally, nonce. My God.
It just, like, no need.
There is no need at all.
No need. Leave the games be. Whatever you want to do in your private time, it's fine. And I certainly don't want to be fucking called upstairs to look at a fucking CGI'd fucking animated sex dungeon. I'm not interested. I'm not interested.
No.
Just
Well, we're getting towards the end,
okay.
I think. But we did get a few messages in. Thanks to everyone that wrote in. Obviously, we haven't got time to read them all out, but we've got some that are going to be like specific to an episode that we've got upcoming, so we're going to leave them for then. But we've got a couple of funny ones here.
Okay, let's go.
So, okay, this is. He's not said anonymity, so this is Scott from Barnsley. From Barnsley.
Not Barnsley.
Right then. Hey lads, looking forward to seeing the podcast. Okay.
Thank you. Good start.
Yeah, he's not seen it yet. So he says, so a few months ago, I was selling some weights on Facebook Marketplace for 50 quid. I'd bought them a few years ago to keep fit during the lockdown and the dark days of 2020, but they're now just gathering dust. A largish lady had messaged me asking if she can have them.
Whoa.
Go on.
Largest lady.
Largish.
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 Yeah.
Right. So fat.
Well, that's probably what he meant, but he's being polite.
Okay.
Nice lads from Barnsley.
Right.
Largish lady had messaged me asking if she can have them and can she pay cash when she comes to collect them. To which, of course, I said yes and thought good on her for taking steps to getting herself in shape.
I mean,
Fair enough.
she might be driving, but it's fine.
Yeah, well, she's driven there. But she is picking up some weights, so fair enough. She's going to need some way to transport them. So he said, I got a knock on the door later that evening, and when she came to collect them, there's quite a few dumbbells. I started bringing them from the garage to the front door. The last was a pair of dumbbells that weighing about 20 kilograms each. So these are fucking heavy duty.
Hefty.
20k is good, like, be crunching them. Yeah, 20k is good.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy. As she bent over to pick them up, I think she underestimated the weight of them. She strained, and as she stood up, let out the biggest rip-roaring fart I've ever heard in my entire life. It seemed to echo around the estate.
How fucking big was this woman? How fucking big was this woman? Fucking hell. Oh, that's mad.
Just imagining it.
I see. I've got a little bit of story to do with something similar that's happening to myself. Actually, talking about ladies farting.
Go on.
So in the army, you have to do a physical test, and you've got to do like a 1.5 mile run, so many sit-ups, so many press-ups.
Yeah.
So you do your press-ups and your sit-ups first, and then you go outside. You do like I think it was an 800-meter warm-up, and then you do a 1.5 mile run at best effort. And for certain ages, it goes up and down for timings, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But basically, it was about 10.5 minutes you had to do it in. So I'm not going to name this person because one, I can't fucking remember her name anyway. But I just remember. I just remember. So you had to pair up when you're doing sit-ups. You know, sit on their legs, sit on their ankles, sort of thing. Hold the legs in place so they don't move. Right. And I remember one morning, and I'd partnered up with this other lad, and then next to me was another lad, and he was partnered up with one at Lasses, right? And it was our turn to hold the ankles, so we're holding ankles. And it's silent. It's not like, you know, apart from a few grunts and stuff for people that are struggling or whatever. And just remember, this one moment, it was like the room went silent, and then all you heard was, and like, listen, that wasn't no fart. That was a quiff.
Oh. Mortified.
Oh, that's like, you know, you look at normally, and then it went off, and you just went, eyes wide open. Dare not look at her. Do not make eye contact because you're fighting fucking laughter inside you.
Oh my God.
And you know, you're doing everything. You're looking away. You're like, no. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. And you can see she's getting redder and redder. But I feel sorry for the lad that was holding her legs.
Oh my
Because he
God.
can't leave. He can't move. And he just quiffed at it. It's just so awkward. I know it's natural and it happens and that, but
Oh my God.
there's a
it's
difference
so
in like,
embarrassing, isn't it?
you know, like a lass farting and a lass fucking quiffing. Like, that's a great story though. Thank you for sharing that.
There's a bit
Really
more
good
to it
story.
as well.
Oh,
There's a bit more to it.
jeez.
So he said, as I stood up, let out the biggest rip-roaring fart I've ever heard in my entire life. It seemed to echo around the estate. The woman was so embarrassed that she marched to a car, put the weights in the boot, jumped in the driver's seat, and drove off. I was in absolute fits of laughter the whole time. And she clearly saw and heard me. Hard not to when I was practically rolling around on the floor. Because she left in such a state of panic and shock, she never gave me the £50 for the weights.
No.
And probably due to embarrassment, she blocked me on Facebook, so I couldn't even message her and ask her to transfer me the money. Needless to say, I'm not bothered about the money. She's welcome to the £50 because the entertainment of the whole event is worth far more than the money I'd asked for. Cheers, lads. That is spectacular.
That is fucking brilliant. Well done.
That is fucking special.
That is so funny, and it's so embarrassing.
Fucking
Like,
die.
you got to feel for her as well because, like, you know, when you don't like farting in front of people anyway.
just look at it from his situation. She's basically robbed him, farted at him, and fucked off. Thanks for the weights.
I'm going home to drown my sorrows in a fucking kebab.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed she blocked him.
Oh God, bless her.
Fuck off, man.
Jesus Christ. Well, I hope the weights have done her some good and she's been using them. You know, I'm all about farting on people.
Yeah, and if you're still struggling, get some Windies from Asda.
Yeah.
Whew. Fucking hell.
Brilliant.
Well, I reckon it's a little bit longer, but we've got time for one more, I think.
Okay.
It's from Rich in Hull. Hey, Rich. So, hey, lads. I've been seeing the lass called Jade on and off for a few months after meeting her at this local chippy where she works. We got on really well, but we weren't anything too serious. Just the occasional hookup around at my house, when my ex-missus had the kids, as she still lived at home with her parents. Sounds okay.
Right.
One night, Jade messaged me and asked if I fancied going around to hers that night when she'd finished work, as she had the place to herself.
Reasonable.
Fair dues.
Mm-hmm.
Being that we weren't in a relationship and getting together only meant one thing, I agreed. Fair play.
Yeah.
Mutual.
Yep. Everyone has needs.
Even Jade from the chippy. I wonder if you got free chips.
I wonder if she's stunk all the time.
Greasy.
Because they do when you work in places like that.
Well, They seem to be getting on. So since it was my first time going round to her house, I thought I'd bring a few drinks with me. A few cans and a bottle of wine. We watched a film in her bedroom and shared a few cans, and when the film finished, she nipped off downstairs and came back with a bottle of wine, 2 glasses, and a bottle of squirty cream. Night's about to get interesting for this boy.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
She then nipped off to the bathroom to spruce herself up. So I poured a couple of glasses and waited for her to come back. She came in and slipped off a dressing gown to reveal some really sexy lingerie, like Victoria's Secret level stuff. Mm-hmm. She looked amazing. Get a touch on it.
Sit closer to the table.
She then grabbed the squirty cream and squirted it on a collarbone. That's where that is.
Just checking it's still
just
there.
Yeah. Squirted it on a collarbone and said, I've always wanted to try this. So we obviously know where that's leading, don't we?
Right, yeah.
A couple of minutes into it, I'm licking squirty cream off her stomach when I hear this bounding coming upstairs. As I'm laid there, I turn to face where the noise is coming from. The door bursts open and this great big 8-stone staffy called Diesel is hurtling towards me.
Jeez.
He bypasses me and tries to lick the remainder of the cream off Jade.
No. Oh my God. Please.
God, I don't know where this is. The dog starts barking its head off. In the panic and sudden increase in weight, the bed broke with a massive bang, and in the melee, the wine had been knocked off the bedside table and onto the floor, which Diesel then decided to jump down and lap up. So there, in a matter of seconds, I've gone from an erotic night of paradise with Jade to chasing a half-drunk 8-stone staffy around the bedroom who's just nicked off with one of my socks, while Jade is in absolute hysterics, crying with laughter. I don't know how that was going to play out for us two in the long term after that. But I'm pleased to say the incident must have brought us closer together, as we're now in a relationship and laugh regularly about that night. Cheers, lads. All the best for the podcast.
Well, I'm glad it did fucking ruin the relationship. Because one thing I want to know is where was the fucking cream that the dog licked? If he's licking it off her stomach, where was the remainder? Because we all fucking know he's gone from collarbone down.
Oh,
now,
knows.
Please.
Why haven't you shut the door? Why have you allowed the fucking dog in?
I just want to know, does Jade know that you've written this in because you've just outed her on the internet?
Sorry, Jade, but he didn't say anonymous. So.
An 8-stone staffy licking her minge. That's what I'm reading from it. I don't know what you're reading from it, but that... Lesson learned, put a bolt on the door.
Make sure the dog's fucking, not in the room or able to get in the room.
Yeah, but... So, they must have known that dog was there. They must have...
The dog's definitely... It didn't just come in from outside.
Wait. Is it their dog?
Whose fucking dog is this? It's some pervert dog. Comes in, starts trying to lick his missus out, gets pissed and fucks off.
This bloke walks in. Diesel, come in. Sorry about this guy.
What's he like?
Oh, dear.
Fucking Diesel.
Dogs.
Oh, my God. That's fucking brilliant.
I mean, that's good, though. I'm glad, that didn't ruin a potential relationship from happening, because we've all had things
embarrassing times.
All had things happen. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that could ruin things, but it's all good.
Brilliant. I'm glad you've got it together.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys got it together. Congratulations. Just maybe just pick your times better. Make sure your dog's locked up or something.
Yeah. Get a chain for the dog, or
get rid of the dog.
Take it to a vet.
Have its stomach pumped. I don't know. Is it alive now?
Just say, how pissed did it get?
Oh God.
Well, that's about all we've got time for this episode. I've had fun. That's been good. That's been good. So, thanks for joining us again. We want more stories, especially if they're going to be like that.
Yeah,
please, more of that. So we're back soon with a new episode. If you've got any submissions, get us into the Hangout at gmail.com, or get us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and everywhere else.
We'll put all our socials in the description down below.
Shall do. So nice one. We'll catch you on the next one, and we'll see you next time.
Ta-ra for now.
Ta-ra.